Our investigative team obtaining some of the videotaped interviews with two former Trump attorneys charged in Georgia's election interference case. What they told prosecutors in exchange for their plea deals. Attorney Jenna Ellis saying that she was told Donald Trump, the boss as they called him, would not leave the White House under any circumstances. Trump's lawyers responding tonight, and here's ABC senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky.
Tonight, ABC News has obtained excerpts of confidential videotaped interviews of two alleged co-conspirators charged along with former President Trump in Georgia. The two attorneys in these videos have now turned and are cooperating with authorities. Sidney Powell, who once claimed that dead Hugo Chavez was one of the reasons behind Trump's loss, and Jenna Ellis cut plea deals on reduced charges in exchange for their cooperation, giving interviews to prosecutors.
We're here with a proffer with Ms. Jenna Ellis.
Ellis, who falsely claimed ballots were manipulated, recounting a time at the 2020 White House Christmas party when she said Trump aide Dan Scavino told her Trump planned to simply refuse to leave the White House.
He said to me in a kind of excited tone, well, we don't care and we're not going to leave.
Ellis said she asked him, what do you mean?
He said the boss is not going to leave under any circumstances. We are just going to stay in power. And I said to him, well, it doesn't quite work that way, you realize. And he said, we don't care.
Scavino did not respond to requests for comment, and an attorney for Trump called the purported conversation meaningless since he did ultimately leave the White House. Sidney Powell also told prosecutors Trump was determined to stay in power, despite his aides repeatedly telling him he lost.
What was President Trump's reaction when, I guess, this cadre of advisors would say you lost?
It was like, well, they would say that and then they'd walk out and he'd go, see, this is what I deal with all the time.
Trump has pleaded not guilty and denied wrongdoing. After Powell's guilty plea, they both denied she was his lawyer. But Powell told prosecutors Trump knew she was one of the few willing to support him.
I was the most experienced federal practitioner in the group. Did I know anything about election law? No.
Powell pushed that outrageous conspiracy theory that voting machines were controlled by Venezuela, even pointing a finger at former dictator Hugo Chavez, who died nearly a decade earlier.
This was exported from Venezuela and by Maduro and by Mr. Chavez. This is the consummate foreign interference in our election.
She told prosecutors Trump weighed a plan to seize voting machines in multiple states, despite no evidence of ballot fraud.
That would have allowed the machines to be secured in 4 or 5 states or cities and see about doing a bipartisan or military or whatever everybody agreed on review of the machines.
Sources told ABC News a number of former President Trump's co-defendants in the case have previously been offered plea deals. Any cooperator, David, could be called to testify once this racketeering case goes to trial. David?
All right, Aaron Katersky, Olivia Rubin, and our entire investigative team, my thanks.